Hello everyone. In this video we are going to discuss about what is vernier calipers. In the sense, what is the purpose of vernier calipers, how do we design the vernier calipers, and how do we use the vernier calipers to take the measurements. So as you can see over here, right, this is one of the pictures of the commonly used vernier calipers in the laboratory. But nowadays, right, we do get the digital vernier calipers. Means, we don't need to actually take the reading and all that. The reading will be automatically coming on the digital scale, like the way in our laboratories, right? We have digital ammeter and digital voltmeters. Similarly, we have the digital vernier calipers also. But obviously, the entire the working will be similar. The only thing is you will have some kind of an internal mechanism setup that will be able to give the reading automatically. That is the only difference. Okay, but here we'll stick our discussion to the conventional vernier calipers where we have to take the reading. Okay, so we'll start the discussion. When we are trying to measure the lengths, obviously the the length of some small wire or things like that, what is the device that we'll normally be using? We'll be using the meter scale. So meter scale, right, will be the normal scale that we'll be having, and the name meter scale comes because it will be of 1 meter length. Okay, and this is also called as a millimeter scale because the smallest length that you can measure with accuracy using this scale will be 1 millimeter. So that is what we will also call as the least count. So what do you call it as? You will be calling it as the least count. So every measuring device, right, will have the least count. What is the least count? It will be the smallest division on that particular instrument. So for this scale, what is that smallest division? It will be the 1 millimeter. That is why this is also called as what? Millimeter scale. So we call it as a meter scale because it will be total length 1 meter. We'll also call it as a millimeter scale. Why? Because the smallest division on that scale will be 1 millimeter. I'm sure in our schools, right? Okay, so not really sure to what extent your school teachers use it as a multi-purpose device, but when we were students, right, like lot of our teachers used to have this as a multi-purpose device. I am guessing you know what I mean to say, right? So in terms of disciplining the students, they'll take help of this meter scale. But coming back to our discussion, if we want to measure lengths with even more accuracy, like say we want to measure length with an accuracy of up to 0.1 mm, or we want to measure the lengths up to an accuracy of 0.01 mm, then in those particular requirements, right, we will take the help of these two devices. One is what we are going to cover in this video, vernier calipers, and second, screw gauge. We'll talk about it in a separate video. But these two devices are mainly for what? To get these measurements of length with a higher accuracy. Okay, so meter scale or the mm scale will be able to give the readings up to 1 mm, smallest the division. But these devices will be able to give us values with a higher accuracy. Okay, so we can measure even up to 0.1 mm or even 0.01 mm. Okay, so we'll see how the vernier calipers is designed. So vernier calipers, right, will mainly be having 3 parts. What will be the number of parts on the vernier calipers? There will be how many parts? 3 parts will be there. Okay, so we'll see what are these 3 parts and how each of these parts will be designed. The first part that we are going to see is the main scale. So you can see that there is a metallic strip. So usually these vernier calipers, as you have seen in the diagram itself, right, they are made up of what? Steel. Okay, so you'll have a metallic strip M, and you can see one edge of this metallic strip, right, will be graded with that markings, centimeter and millimeter. So as such, what will be the smallest division on that main scale? Smallest division on the main scale will be 1 mm, just like our normal millimeter scale, right? Main scale, usually I'm saying, usually what will be the smallest division? It will be 1 millimeter. Okay, and the main scale on other end, you can see this end, we have two fixed jaws. They will not move. There is a jaw A and there is a jaw C. You can see jaw A is turned this side, flat surface. So where is the flat surface of the jaw A? Flat surface of the jaw A is faced this way. But the flat surface of the jaw C is placed in the opposite orientation. It is facing in the opposite orientation. Okay. We will see what is the purpose of having such a design. Obviously, it is not like generally we are, crazy about having some kind of an design and got this kind of an arrangement. There is a reason why it is done like that. We will see what is the reason also. So main scale is what basically you will have the gradings of centimeter and millimeter. Usually the smallest division on the main scale will be what? 1 millimeter. This is what we also call as the main scale division, like that, MSD. What do we call it as? Main scale division or MSD. Okay. Main scale will have two fixed jaws, jaw A and jaw C. These jaws are basically used, they are used for holding the objects. The jaws are, what is the main purpose of the jaws? They will be used to hold the object. How they will hold the object we will see. Okay. Next we will go to the vernier scale. This is the important one. If the vernier scale is not there, means think about it, right? The main scale is simply like our what? It is simply like our mm scale. The main scale, if the vernier scale is not there, means the main scale is simply like the millimeter scale. Now the vernier scale will be movable. It can slide. Okay. So the vernier scale generally will indicate this with what? V. It can slide on the metallic strip M. It will be able to slide. Okay. So it can slide this way. It can also slide the other way. Okay. And if you want to fix it in one position, we will use this screw. So it can be fixed in a particular position by using the screw S. Vernier scale has got two jaws. Jaw B, which is facing A, jaw D, which is facing C. Okay. These B and D will be what? Movable. Because the vernier scale is moving, means along with that the jaws also will be moving. Okay. Now you will see one interesting thing. When we push the vernier scale in such a way that B is approaching A, D will be approaching C. Finally, if the flat surface of this jaw A and flat surface of the jaw B, they both touch, imagine when they are touching, you know what is going to happen at the top? At the top, the flat surface of C is going to touch with the flat surface of D. At the top, what is going to happen? The flat surface of the C will touch the flat surface of D. So when we push the vernier scale towards the fixed jaws A and C, B will touch A, and the straight side of C, straight side of C means what? The flat side. Straight side of C will touch the straight side of D. I'll show you how it is going to happen. Look at this. We are taking it closer. You see here? Okay, you see here, that's what. So the straight side of the C will be coinciding with the straight side of the D. So you can see this is what? This is our A and the C. This is our B and D. B and D are what? The movable ones. B and D are the movable ones. Okay, as you can see, when the A and B are touching, what is happening? The straight side of C is meeting with the straight side of the D. Okay, and you will see one thing here. When it happens, the 0 on the vernier scale, so this is the vernier scale, right? The 0 marking on the vernier scale will match with the 0 on the main scale. Okay, we'll talk about that later, but here what is going to happen, you know, the 0 on the main scale, 0 on the main scale will basically match with what? It will be matching with the 0 on the vernier scale. It will be matching with the 0 on the vernier scale. Okay, so this is what we will generally refer to as the 0 position. What do we call it as? We will be calling it as what? 0 position. Okay, we'll talk about that later. And obviously don't bother about why these, you know, 15 points and they are giving the readings, right? So we'll see how the readings will be taken later. But here we are trying to understand the design of the vernier calipers. Now we have the third part. The third part, often people ignore it. The third part is another metallic strip which is named as E here. Okay, that will be a thin one. There is a thin metallic strip E attached to the back side of M. So this is the front side, means where is it going to be? It is on the back side. This will be on the back side. It will be on the back side. But you know, from the back side, right, it will be connected to the vernier scale. From the back side, this will be connected to what? It will be connected to the vernier scale. And when we move the vernier scale, right, this way or that way, the strip E also will keep moving. When we move the vernier scale, means strip E also will be moving. So if we move the vernier scale such a way that the A and B are actually touching, that is what we call as what? The zero position. Then you know what happens? The E, the strip E, right, the edge E will basically come and coincide with the edge of that metallic strip M, which means no more thin strip will be visible outside. So when we completely make it in the zero position vernier scale, the strip E would fully go in. There will be no more part outside. But when we move these jaws apart, you will see that the E also will be starting to come out. So when the jaws A and B are separated, right, E will start moving outwards. Okay. Now there is a reason why there is this thin strip E. Thin strip will be used in specific measurement cases. We will see when this will be used. Okay. So we have three parts for the vernier calipers. One is the main scale, second is the vernier scale, and third is this thin metallic strip E, which is connected from the back side of the main scale to the vernier scale. Okay. Now let us talk about how the vernier calipers is going to actually work. Okay. So when we want to see how the vernier calipers is going to be working, we need to understand the relation between the vernier scale and the main scale. Here now we are going to get readings on both the scales. We'll get the readings on both the scales. The total reading will depend upon the reading from the vernier scale and reading from the main scale. But before we go and see how the reading is taken, right, let us try and understand the relations between the vernier scale and the main scale, because this will be important when we are trying to take the readings, okay, of any particular object or shape. Now when we look at the divisions on the vernier scale, right, the divisions on vernier scale will be generally small in size than the divisions on the main scale. Means if you are calling the smallest division on the vernier scale as VSD, that is the notation, vernier scale division, and smallest division on the main scale is what? MSD. As I said, this will be generally in terms of what? Millimeter. This will be generally in terms of the millimeter. Okay. We would usually have a relation between the vernier scale divisions and the main scale divisions. Like I can tell you one sample relation. Let us say n can be any number. N number of vernier scale divisions are coinciding with n minus main scale division. What it means? Vernier scale division is smaller length. Main scale division is what? Larger. That is what is generally the situation. Okay. N number of vernier scale divisions are coinciding with what? N minus 1 number of main scale divisions. Means we'll see what is the relation between them. N into the vernier scale division length. The value will be equal to what? N minus 1 into the main scale division. All that we are doing is trying to get the relation between the vernier scale division value and the main scale division value. From here what we can have? One vernier scale division, what is it going to be equal to? One vernier scale division will be equal to what? Just bring this n to the, so from here what we are going to do? We bring this n from the left side, we will try to bring it to the right side. Okay, so bring this n to the right side, what we'll have? The n will go to the denominator. So what is it? One vernier scale division is equal to what? One vernier scale division will be equal to n minus 1 by n into main scale division. What is it? Vernier scale division is equal to what? N minus 1 by n into main scale division. Okay, so we just brought this n to the right side, it will go to the denominator. Okay, so this way we will be able to get the relation between vernier scale division value and main scale division value. Now this is an example one. It is not like always n number of vernier scale divisions will match with n minus 1 number of main scale divisions. Sometimes, you know what we can have, they will say 10 vernier scale divisions match with 9 main scale divisions, like that. Sometimes they will say 20 vernier scale divisions match with maybe, you know, 15 main scale divisions, like that also they can say. It is not always like n and n minus 1. Okay, this is just one example we are taking. What is this? This is one example, so don't think that always it will be the same relation, but we will always be having a relation between the main scale division value and the vernier scale division value. Okay, now let us talk about one of the important aspects of the vernier scale measurement, which is what we call as the vernier constant, VC, or least count. What is this vernier constant or least count? So this is nothing but the difference between the values of one main scale division and one vernier scale division. What do we call it as? We will call it as vernier constant or least count. Okay, so what is it? It is nothing but the difference between main scale division value and then vernier scale division value. This is an important formula. So what is the vernier constant or least count? This is basically what? This is the smallest. What is this? This is the smallest distance that can be measured accurately by using the vernier calipers. Okay, so this is what the least count. What is the general understanding of the least count? It is the smallest length that we can measure with accuracy. So here the least count or vernier constant is what? 1 MSD value minus 1 VSD value. Okay, already we have taken one example relation, correct? So by using that example relation, right, look at it. So we got vernier scale in the previous example we took, right? What we had, one vernier scale division is equal to what? N minus 1 by n into main scale division, like that we had the relation, right? Now if you take the same example relation, in place of VSD, what we are going to substitute? N minus 1 by n into MSD. Now here we will have to take an LCM, MSD. So if we take an LCM, means what happens? We will be having denominator is what? N. So we'll have denominator n, and here we'll have n into main scale division, okay, minus again n into main scale division plus main scale division, like that will come. Okay, so this is cancelled, plus minus, then totally what we'll have? 1 by n into main scale division. So what is it that we are having? 1 by n into main scale division. So this is not always the least count formula. Don't think that is always the least count formula. This is for the example relation we have taken between the main scale divisions and the vernier scale divisions. But what is always the least count formula? Least count will be equal to what? The main scale division minus vernier scale division. Okay, the least count represents what? The smallest distance we can measure with accuracy. Okay, now when we want to take the measurement of anything, we have to fix them in a particular position with respect to the vernier calipers. So here we will have 3 positions where we can use for the measurement. If you want to measure the external diameter of an object, then it will be held between the jaws A and B. Like you say, for example, you want to measure the diameter of a sphere. You will hold it between the jaws A and B. You see here where you are going to hold it. That is the purpose why we have the flat sides here. You are going to hold it between the jaws A and B. Okay, the straight edges C and D, look at it, are used for measuring internal diameter of a hollow object. Think about it. You have a hollow cylinder like this. You have a hollow cylinder. I will show the visualization also. You have a hollow cylinder like this. You want to measure what is the internal diameter. Then we are going to just bring it and keep it over there, so that you can see the flat edge of C will match. The flat edge of D will be matching here. This is for what? For measuring the internal diameter of a hollow object. That is the reason why. Remember what I said in the beginning. There is a reason why these edges are designed like that. The orientation of the flat edge of A is different, C is different. Why? Because if you want to find the external diameter of any object, we will be holding it between the jaws A and B. If you want to find the internal diameter of any object, we will be using the position where we will keep it over the jaws C and D. And we said one more part of the vernier caliper. What is it? The thin metallic strip E. The thin metallic strip E is used for measuring the depth of a vessel. how, think about it. So you have a vessel like this, a vessel. So this is basically what, how much ever the strip goes out, the strip will basically touch the bottom of the vessel. So you'll keep it like this so that we can measure the depth. Like, you know, you will even hold it vertically, just keep you know, moving the strip down. So you have to, like, you know, the scale is like this. Imagine this is the main scale, the strip is here. Okay, you have a vessel like this, so you keep moving this down so that it will go and touch the bottom of the vessel like that. Okay, so the strip E is used for what? For measuring the depth of the vessels. So that is the reason why we have these three, I mean, you know, positions. One is the position between the edges A and B, that is for measuring the external diameter of the object. Then we have the position C and D, that is for measuring the internal diameter of the hollow vessels. And the strip E is used for what? It is used for measuring the depth of the vessel. Okay, now we'll just look at the visualization for that. You can see over here clearly what is it we are holding. So this particular object is held between the, so this is A and this is B, correct? It is held between the edges A and B. Now I'll show you one more. So this is what I was talking about. What is this? This is the digital vernier calipers. You can see the reading is automatically coming on the digital screen itself. The reading is coming, so we don't need to take any measurement, etc. You see here what is happening. This is the hollow cylindrical. So this is the edge C and this is the edge D. So we can see the edges C and D, they are touching with the inner boundary of that particular hollow cylinder. So we can use this position to measure what? To measure the inner diameter of that particular hollow cylinder. Okay, now we'll go and look at how we'll measure the depth of a vessel. So you see here what is this? This is the vessel. The strip E is going and touching at the bottom of the vessel like this. So this way we will be able to measure what is the depth of the vessel. So these are the three positions which we can use to take the measurement by using the vernier calipers. Okay, now what we'll do is we will look at how the reading will be actually taken. So now we'll come to the very important part. So this is the reading part. So how are we going to take the reading? So obviously when we look at the reading from the vernier calipers, we are going to get two readings. One is the main scale reading, second is the vernier scale reading. The total reading will be what? It will be a combination of both of them. We'll have a reading from the main scale and reading from the vernier scale. What will be the total reading? Total reading will be the combination of both of them. We will see how we are going to make this measurement. Okay, let us say we have to measure a particular length AB. It may be a rod or anything. Think about it. So like we have a rod. We have a rod what? AB. Okay, you know what? We are fixing it between the, so if you want to measure the length of the rod, means where do you fix it? Between the edges A and B. Okay, the end A is coinciding with what? The 0 of the main scale, and suppose the end B lies between 1 and 1.1. Where is the end B lying? It is lying between what? 1 centimeter and 1.1 centimeter. Okay, so that is the position where the B is. And what is the vernier constant of this particular vernier calipers? It is 0.01 centimeter. What is the vernier constant for this? It is what? 0.01 centimeter. Okay, now what we'll do is we will look at what will be the main scale reading. So main scale reading, generally we will represent this by the symbol capital N. We can also use this abbreviation MSR also, we can use main scale reading. Okay, main scale reading on the, basically the device, right, will be the left of 0 on the vernier scale. So 0 on the vernier scale is here. That is 0 on the vernier scale, right? Let us see what is the leftmost division here. Basically saying whatever the division that is clearly visible for you on the main scale, right? Because after this the vernier scale is starting. No, whatever the division that is clearly visible to you on the main scale, that is 1 centimeter. That will be usually the left side of the 0 of the vernier scale. Okay, so the reading will be what? It will be the reading whichever is on the left side of the vernier scale, from wherever the vernier scale 0 is starting, right? Left side of that you will have that marking on the main scale. That will be the most visible marking. After that nothing will be visible. That reading is what will be the reading of the main scale. So here what you can see, that what is the visible reading here, 1 centimeter. Okay, after that the vernier scale is starting, right? So the main scale reading will be taken as what, 1 centimeter. Understand this again one more time. What is the main scale reading? Vernier scale is starting at some point, the 0 of the vernier scale. Before that, on the left side, whatever the main scale reading you see, that will be the main scale reading. Simple. Okay, the main scale reading is what, whatever you have on the left of the 0 of the vernier scale, that is our main scale reading going to be. Here what is it, 1 centimeter. Okay, now we will have to look at what is the vernier scale reading. So look at here, in vernier scale, right, this is the first division, second division, third, fourth, fifth. The fifth division of the vernier scale coincides with the main scale division. What are we seeing here? We are seeing which division of the main vernier scale, which division of the vernier scale is coinciding with any of the main scale division. Here the fifth division of the vernier scale, right, is coinciding with the main scale division. Don't worry about which main scale division it is coinciding with. Here we have to only focus on what, which division of the vernier scale is coinciding with a particular main scale division. Here what is it? It is the fifth division. So that is what we have to be seeing. If it is generally, say for example, nth division, small n is the symbol that we use. If nth division is coinciding, small n is what, that division on the vernier scale which coincides with any main scale division, then we will have the vernier scale reading based upon this value n. Okay, so the vernier scale reading, which we can also abbreviate as what, VSR, will be equal to what, this n, small n, into the vernier constant or least count. Simple. What is it? Small n into vernier constant or least count. So what is this small n? Basically it is the number on the vernier scale which is just coinciding with any main scale division. So here we will not even focus on what is the main scale division which is coinciding with. That is not of concern for us. We have to just look at which vernier scale division is coinciding with any of the main scale divisions. That number is what we have to pick, small n. And the vernier scale reading will be equal to what, small n into the vernier constant or least count. So we got main scale division and the vernier scale reading. The total reading, right, will be what, the main scale reading, which we are indicating with the capital N, plus the vernier scale reading. What is vernier scale reading? Small n into the vernier constant. In this particular example, right, what is the total reading? We can say, what is the main scale reading? It is what, 1 centimeter. And fifth division is coinciding. So small n is what, 5. And what is the vernier constant? 0.01 centimeter. That is given. Okay, how do we get the vernier constant? Vernier constant or least count, how do we get it? Least count will be equal to what? 1 MSD minus 1 VSD. It is the difference between the main scale division and the vernier scale division. We will have to get it based upon the relation that they give. So usually if they want us to calculate the least count or vernier constant, means they will give us the relation. They will say 20 main scale divisions will match with, like that they will give us a relation. From there we will be able to calculate the vernier constant or least count. Otherwise, like in this case, we are already given, they are giving us that, the vernier constant value is what, 0.01 centimeters, means we straight away take it as it is. So what is the total reading going to be? Main scale reading, which is 1 centimeter, plus the small n value is 5 into 0.01. What is it? This is 0.05. Totally what is it? 1.05 centimeter. What is it? 1.05 centimeter. Now I want you to just pay a little bit attention here. If we would have just taken the reading by using the main scale, what we would have said, the reading is between 1 centimeter and 1.1 centimeter. Remember, the reading is what, between 1 centimeter and 1.1 centimeter. By using the vernier scale, the entire device is now becoming what, the vernier calipers. You see, we are able to give the measurement up to what, 2 decimal places. We are able to give the measurement up to what, 2 decimal places. Means what, we are able to essentially increase the accuracy. We are able to increase the accuracy. Got it? So this is what is the main purpose of the vernier calipers. Even screw gauge also, we will be able to get the length measurements with a higher accuracy. Okay, now we look at some sample questions to see how well we are able to understand this idea. Look at this. Kaplan divisions of main scale of a vernier calipers coincide with n+1 divisions of the vernier scale. If each division on main scale is of A units, A is the symbol they are giving, determine the least count of the instrument. What they are saying, we have to determine what is the least count of the instrument. So look at this, guys. Kaplan divisions of the main scale coincide with n+1 divisions of the vernier scale. Means what? Kaplan into main scale division is equal to what? n+1 into vernier scale division. Correct? So from here, so we want vernier scale division, means we have to bring this n+1 to the left side. So Kaplan by n+1, it will go to the denominator, into main scale division is equal to what? Vernier scale division. What is main scale division? They are saying it as what? A. If each division of the main scale is A unit, means what will be the vernier scale division? N by n+1 into A it will come. That is the vernier scale division. Correct? Now we have to find what? We have to find what is the least count of the instrument. Least count or vernier constant will be equal to what? 1 main scale division minus 1 vernier scale division. Correct? Which is what? A minus n by n+1 into A. Correct? We have taken LCM. n+1. Here what is it? n+1 into A will come, minus NA. What is it? NA plus A minus NA divided by n+1. NA minus NA is cancelled. What is it? A by n+1. So what is the least count or vernier constant value? What is it? A by n+1. Okay, so this is how we are going to calculate what will be the least count or vernier constant of that particular calipers. So here, to do it, we must know what is the relation between the vernier scale divisions and the main scale divisions. Like this, if they give, means we can calculate. We'll go to the next question. This is about giving the actual measurement. Smallest division of the main scale is 1 mm. Means what? Main scale division is equal to what? 1 mm. That is given. 10 vernier divisions coincide with 9 main scale divisions. Means what? 10 vernier divisions. 10 into VSD is equal to what? 9 into MSD. What is MSD? Main scale division is what? 1 millimeter, right? Means 9 into 1 millimeter. Okay. So what is the vernier scale division? 9 by 10 mm. We'll have to just bring the 10 this side. Now using this, what we can calculate? We can calculate the least count. What is least count? Main scale division minus vernier scale division. Correct? What is main scale division? 1 mm. What is the vernier scale division? 9 by 10 mm. So see what is the difference between them? Take an LCM. 10. So 10 minus 9 will come. What is it? Numerator is 1. So 1 by 10 mm or 0.1 mm. So this is the least count. What is the least count? 0.1 mm. Okay. Now if we are looking at the measurement here, while measuring the length of a line, the 0 mark on the vernier scale lies between 10.2 centimeter and 10.3. Remember what we said? You have the main scale, like you have the main scale division. Okay, main scale divisions are there. The vernier scale is starting from where? It is the vernier scale 0 of the vernier scale is between what? 10.2 and 10.3 of the main scale. Means what is the main scale reading? We can clearly see on the left side of the vernier 0, it will be 10.2. What is the reading on the main scale? We can clearly see on the left side of the 0 of the vernier scale, it is the 10.2. Correct? So which means the main scale reading or MSR will be equal to what? It will be what? 10.2 centimeter. What is it? It will be 10.2 centimeter. Okay. Now the third division of the vernier scale coincides with the main division. This is like what? In that formula, remember, small n. Which division of the vernier scale will coincide with any particular main scale division? So which division of the vernier scale is coinciding? The third division of the vernier scale is coinciding. Means what? This is our small n value, remember? So now we can find what is the total measurement value or the total reading. What they are asking us, they are asking us what is the total measurement value or total reading. So here, right, I want to emphasize on one thing. We have to be careful about the units also. So the total reading or total measurement, right? Total reading will be equal to what? The main scale reading, which is what? 10.2 centimeters. That is what I am saying. We have to be careful about the units. Plus, what about the vernier scale reading? Small n into the vernier constant or least count. What is it? 0.1 mm. So which is what? 10.2 centimeter plus 0.3 mm. Now mm means we have to convert this into centimeter, means what? Millimeter. How do you convert this in centimeters? Divide by 10. Okay. So 10.2 centimeter plus 0.3, if you divide by 10 means it will become what? 0.03. So what is that? 10.23 centimeter. We are able to get the total value in terms of what? Centimeter. As I said, we have to be careful about the units. Okay. So the main scale reading is coming in terms of centimeter. Vernier scale reading is coming in terms of what? Millimeter. So we have to make sure that both of them are changed into one particular value. Okay. Now, like it happens with every measuring instrument, right? We'll have the zero errors. So what do you mean by a zero error? We'll try to understand this by using the common example of a weighing machine, so that we'll be able to get a better clarity of what is this zero error. Like say for example, we'll go to the nearby Kirana store to buy something. Okay. When we have got the object or whatever it is that we are trying to buy, and we'll finally go to the billing counter, right? You will typically see a weighing machine like this, isn't it? This is the kind of a weighing machine that we'll see. Now, when you see this weighing machine, right, our eyes will intuitively go on what is on the display. You see a 0, 0, you will be happy. Okay. But instead of seeing a 0, 0, imagine you will see some number like this. You will see a number 0.5 or something. And obviously, your reaction will be totally different, isn't it? So why is it happening? This is basically because we see that there is an error in this instrument, isn't it? We'll see that there is an error in the instrument. Now, this error, so without even putting anything on the pan, we'll see that there is a reading that is coming. This is what we call as the zero error. So what is zero error? When we are not having anything kept for the measurement, it should be ideally throwing us a value 0. But if it is not giving us a value 0 and giving something else, this is what we call as zero error. Now zero errors, right, generally will be of two types. This is our no zero error device. Here we will see zero error which is positive, and this is what? Negative. We can have positive zero errors and we can also have what? Negative zero errors. Now what if the zero error is positive? Imagine if the zero error is positive, like I'll put an absolute weight of 40 grams on that. Initially what is the reading? 0.5. If you put an absolute value of 40 grams, then you know what will be the reading that will be shown. We can tell it, right? What will be the reading that will be shown? It will be showing us what? 40.5. Means what? The values of the reading that you will get when the zero is positive, the reading values are going to be what? The reading values will be what? They will be higher than the true or absolute value. Similarly, think about it. You try to drop a 40 grams object on that, where the initial zero is what? Negative. You know what will be the reading that you will get? Final reading. Final reading will be what? 39.7 grams. So what do you see? The readings, whenever we have the readings, reading will be what? Reading will be less than the true value or the absolute value. So when you say absolute value, I'm talking about what? The true value. So in case of the positive zero error, readings will be higher than the true values. Negative zero error, readings will be lesser than the true values. Okay. So here, if you want to get what is the absolute reading or absolute value, always we have to do what? The measurement, whatever measurement we get, minus zero error. Always the zero error has to be subtracted. I'll show you how. Look at it. What is the reading that is coming here? 40.5. So 40.5 minus, what is zero error? 0.5. What is it? 40 grams. That is the absolute value. Come to this example. What is the reading? 39.7 minus, here what is the zero error? Negative zero error. We have to put minus 0.3. So minus of minus will become what? Plus. Totally what is it? 40 grams. That is the true value. So always to get the absolute value, what you have to do? Measurement value minus zero error. Zero error can be positive, zero error can be negative. Okay. So this is what we have as an understanding of the zero error from one of the common devices that we will use in our daily life, like the weighing machine. Okay. The concept is going to remain the same because we are going to talk about the zero error concept in vernier calipers, in screw gauge. Those places also we'll talk about the zero error concept. The concept is going to remain as it is. Okay. Now let us talk about the no zero error position. So if you see the vernier calipers diagram that we have seen in the very the beginning of this discussion, when we bring this edge A and edge B together, parallelly what you can see, the flat edges of C and D will be also meeting. So here you see the zero of the vernier scale and the zero of the main scale, they are coinciding. So this is, if you want to look at it like just purely observing the scale, this is the main scale, this is the vernier scale. Usually what we know, number of divisions on the main scale will be lesser than the number of divisions on the vernier scale. Okay. So you see here 0, 0, they are coinciding. This is what we call as the no zero error position. And like we know, this is going to be rarest of the rare cases. If you are happening to purchase a vernier calipers device newly, then you might be able to see this kind of situation. But as you keep using it, right, you would usually end up getting some zero error over a period of time. Okay. So we are not discussing about what is the reason for the zero error. We are just here to understand about how do we tackle the zero error. Okay. What are the other possibilities? You can have a negative zero error. You can have a positive zero error. If the zero of the vernier scale does not coincide with the zero of the main scale, when the jaw and A and D are touching, okay, and that is also when the straight edge of the D and C will be touching. So that is what we called as what is this position called as? Zero position, right? When we are bringing the vernier calipers into zero position, then if the main scale 0 and vernier scale 0, they are not coinciding, then what we say, there is a zero error. If they are not coinciding, there is a what? Zero error. And like we said, whatever the zero error value we have to algebraically subtract it from the measured length. The absolute value, remember same concept like the way we have seen in the weighing machine. The absolute value will be equal to what? Measured value minus zero error. Always we have to subtract the zero errors. Okay. So here we have two scenarios. Look at this. The vernier scale 0 is ahead on the right side. Look at this one. Vernier scale 0 is on the left side. You can have two possibilities. Vernier scale 0 is on the right side or vernier scale 0 is on the left side. Okay. Accordingly, we are going to call them as either the positive error or the negative error. Look at it. If the 0 of the vernier scale lies right side of the 0 of the main scale, vernier scale 0, where is it? It is on the right side. Then we will say the zero error is what? Positive. Okay. And zero error positive means what? The actual length will be what? Less than the observed value, because whenever we have positive zero, remember the weighing machine, the zero is what? 0.5 grams. We put 40 grams and that means what is the reading you are going to get? You will get 40.5. So the reading will be higher, actual value will be what? Less. That is the case of the positive zero error. If the zero of the vernier scale lies to the left, you can see in this scale 0 of the vernier scale is lying to the left. Left of what? Left of the 0 of the main scale. Then we'll say the zero error is what? negative. Whenever the zero error is negative, so we need to understand the difference here. Huh? When the vernier scale 0 is the right side, that is positive zero error. When the vernier scale 0 is left side, it is what? Negative zero error. Okay, so here it is on the left side, here it is on the right side. We are always focusing on the 0 of the vernier scale. Okay, in case of the positive zero error, what is it? The measured value will be higher, actual value will be less. In case of the negative zero error, what is it? The actual value will be more than the observed. Observed value will be what? Less. Observed value will be what? Less. Like we have seen, remember that pan example, we are putting 40 grams means if the negative zero error is 0.3, then what is the reading that is coming from that? The reading will become as what? It will be coming as 39.7. This is the reading. But actual value is what? More than that. Actual value is what? 40 grams. Okay. So this is what we have as a zero error discussion in the case of the vernier calipers. Now let us see how are we going to measure this zero error, because we have to measure it, right? Look at it. In case of the positive zero error, let us say x division of the vernier scale is coinciding with any division of the main scale. When are we discussing this? When we keep the vernier calipers in the 0 position. Means what? The edge A and edge B touching. Top, the flat edge of C and flat edge of D will be touching. Okay. When we keep that in the 0 position, we will see which division of the vernier scale is coinciding with any division on the main scale. Look at it here. This is the vernier scale, right? Which division? And how are we able to say this is the positive zero error? You can see vernier calipers or vernier scale. Vernier scale 0 is on the right side. Vernier scale 0 right side means what? That is the positive zero error. In this case, you can see which division? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can see 8th division of the vernier scale is coinciding with a main scale division. Remember, we only will focus on which division of that vernier scale is coinciding with any particular division of the main scale. Here, what is it? This x value is coming as what? 8. Then what will be the zero error value? If we will see in this diagram, 8th division is coinciding. 8th division of the vernier scale is coinciding with a particular division of the main scale. And if for this scale, because we have the main scale divisions and the vernier scale divisions given, if we calculate what is the vernier constant, right? The vernier constant will be coming as what? It will be coming as 0.01 centimeters. What will be the vernier constant value going to come? Vernier constant is nothing but least count. What is the least count going to be? 0.01 centimeter. Okay. Now what will be the zero error value? Plus, because it is positive zero error, x is what? The number on that vernier scale division which is coinciding with any main scale division. So x into vernier constant, which is what? 0.01 centimeter. So how much it is going to be? Plus 0.08. So we just have to look at, when we keep the vernier calipers in 0 position, we'll first check whether the vernier scale 0 is on the right. Yes, here it is on the right. Means what? This is the case of positive zero error. Now we are checking what? Which division of that vernier scale is coinciding with a particular division of the main scale. We don't have to bother about what is that main scale division. We'll just have to focus on what is the vernier scale division which is aligning with exactly another main scale division. Okay, so here the 8th division of the vernier scale is coinciding with another main scale division. So we'll take the x value to be what? 8. That's it. We'll get the positive zero error. Now let us take the example of negative zero error. So I want you to check here. What is it? Vernier scale 0 is falling on the left side. Means what? What is this? This is the case of the negative zero error. Again, what we'll check? Which division of the vernier scale is coinciding with a main scale division? Look at it. 1, 2, 3. You can see it. Third division of the vernier scale is coinciding with a main scale division. Means here zero error will be what? Minus we'll put, because it is a negative zero error. Minus 3 into, because the division of the vernier scale is what here? Third division. Minus 3 into same. Here we are going with the vernier constant value as what? 0.01 centimeter. Minus 3 into 0.01 centimeter. What is it? Minus 0.03 centimeter. Okay. Now this is how we are going to get the value of the negative zero error. Okay, so like we have been mentioning, how do we get the absolute reading or the true value of the reading? It will be what? Total measured reading. Total measured reading means what? Main scale reading plus vernier scale reading. Already main scale reading is what? Capital N. Capital N is what? The number on the main scale that you can clearly see on the left side of the zero of the vernier scale, correct? Plus small n into vernier constant. What is small n? When you're taking the measurement, which division of the vernier scale will coincide with a particular division of the main scale? Okay, minus zero error. So we have to always subtract the zero error. Okay, so this is how we are going to get the absolute reading whenever we are using the vernier calipers. Sometimes, right, people also use this word zero correction. Don't think that this is something else. Zero correction basically means it is negative of zero error. Zero correction means what? It has got the same magnitude as the zero error, but sign will be opposite. Means what we can say, negative of zero error. Remember what we are saying? The absolute reading. What is the absolute reading? Absolute reading is equal to what? Absolute reading is equal to the measured reading. What is it? Measured reading minus the zero error. Okay, but here if in a particular problem, instead of saying zero error, they'll say zero correction is this much. This minus zero error will be what? Zero correction. So look at this, guys. What will be the formula? We'll have measured reading plus zero correction. So what we need to keep in mind here, just one simple idea. What is it? The zero error will be subtracted from the measured reading. We have to subtract the zero error to get the absolute value. Zero correction will be added. So zero correction will be algebraically added to the measured length. Because what is zero error? Zero error is nothing but negative of zero correction. Otherwise what we can say, zero correction is a negative of zero error, like that. Okay, so zero error means we will subtract it. Zero correction means we will add it to the measured reading, so that we will get what? We will be getting the absolute value of the reading. Like I'll just give you one simple example. If I say that zero error is minus 0.03 centimeter, then what will be the zero correction? It's straightforward. What is zero correction? Plus 0.03 centimeter. It will be just negative of the zero error. If I say that the zero error is minus 0.002 centimeter, or I say not minus, I'll take it as plus. Let us say zero error is what? Plus 0.002 centimeter. Then what will be the zero correction? What will be zero correction? It will be what? Minus 0.002. Just if the zero error negative means zero correction positive. Zero error positive means zero correction is what? Negative, like that. Okay. Now we look at some sample questions to understand the concept of zero error and how we are going to use it. Look at this. In the diagram below, find the magnitude and nature of zero error. So M means what? Main scale. V means what? Vernier scale. Look at this, guys. Vernier scale 0 is where? It is on the right side. It is on the right side of the main scale 0. Means what is it? This is a case of positive zero error. Correct? They are asking us what? The nature of the zero error. Means what is the nature of the zero error? It is what? Positive. Okay. Second thing is they are asking us about the magnitude. Remember, zero error will be equal to what? Plus x into vernier constant or the least count. What is this x? The division on the vernier scale which coincides with any of the main scale divisions in the zero position. Look at this. 1 not coinciding, 2 not coinciding, 3, 4. Okay, fifth one. Fifth division of the vernier scale is coinciding with another division of the main scale. Means here what is the x value? We are going to take 5. What is the least count or vernier constant? 0.01 centimeter. So what is it? Plus 0.05 centimeter. That is what is the zero error. It is what? Positive zero error. So first thing is we are focusing on where is the position of zero of the vernier scale. It is on the right side of the zero of the main scale. Means what? It is the case of the positive zero error. Then we are looking at what? Then we are looking at the vernier scale division, which is exactly coinciding with another division of the main scale. That is what is the x value. Okay, and then it is a straight formula. Clear? So this is how we are going to find the zero error values. Now we look at one more question. While measuring the length of a rod by a vernier calipers, reading on the main scale is what? 6.4 centimeters. Straight away they are giving us. What is the MSR? Main scale reading is what? 6.4 centimeter. Eighth division of the vernier is in line with a marking on the main scale division. Means when you are measuring it, right, eighth division of the vernier scale is in line with a marking on the main scale. If the least count is what? 0.01 centimeters. Okay, and the zero error is what? Minus 0.04 centimeter. Find the length of the rod. Here vernier scale reading is equal to what? N, small n. Small n is what? The number on the vernier scale which will be in line with a main scale reading. So what is this? The n is given as what? 8th. 8th division of the vernier scale means 8 into what is the vernier constant or least count? 0.01 centimeter. What is it? 0.08 centimeter. This is the vernier scale reading. What is the zero error? Minus 0.04 centimeter. Guys, what is the absolute reading? Absolute value is what? Measured value. Measured value means what? Main scale reading plus vernier scale reading minus the zero error. It's a case of what? Negative zero error. So look at this, 6.4 plus 0.08 minus of minus 0.04. Everything is in centimeter. Here there is no discrepancy in terms of unit. So what is it? 6.4. What is this totally? Minus of minus becomes what? Plus 0.12. What is it? 6.52 centimeter. This is the actual length of the rod. We call it as what? The absolute value or the absolute reading. Okay, so main scale reading is there, vernier scale reading is there, and then zero error is there. Usually in most of the JEE mains or the NEET level, right, we are going to get questions like this only. Okay, they would be giving us a lot of information, so we'll just have to go and use the respective formula to get the answer. Okay guys, so these are the kind of questions we can expect on the zero error. Now what we'll do is we'll look at a quick review of all the formulae we have in this vernier calipers. First is what? How do we get the least count or the vernier constant? What is it? 1 main scale division minus 1 vernier scale division. How are we going to get the actual value of the least count or vernier constant? They would give us, usually they will give us what? In the numerical problem, they will give us a relation between the main scale divisions and the vernier scale divisions. From there we can get it. If at all we have to find the vernier constant. Otherwise, like in some problems we have seen, they themselves will give us the vernier constant value. Okay, then total reading is what? Main scale reading, which is the main scale digit. We can clearly see on the left side of the zero of the vernier scale, plus small n into the vernier constant. What is small n? It is the number on the vernier scale or the digit on the vernier scale. What is small n? It is the digit on vernier scale which exactly aligns or matches with a particular main scale division. Okay, so this is about the total reading. And if the zero of the vernier scale is lying to the right side, then we will say it as what? Positive zero error. If the zero error of the vernier scale is lying to the left side, then we will call it as what? Negative zero error. So we can have two kinds of zero error, positive and then negative. Okay, so what is the positive zero error? Plus will come. Negative zero is what? Minus will come. Here what is this x? X represents what? When we keep the vernier calipers in the zero position, which division of the vernier scale is matching or aligning with a particular main scale division. That is what is basically the x. Positive means it will be what? Plus x into vernier constant. Negative means it will be what? Minus x into vernier constant. Okay, and whenever we are giving the absolute value of the reading, what is the absolute value of the reading? It will be what? The total reading, vernier scale reading plus main scale reading. That is the total reading, right? Total reading minus 0 error. We have to always subtract the 0 error. Okay, so this is about the summary in terms of what we need to know about the vernier calipers. Okay, so this completes our discussion on the vernier calipers, and we'll see one more video on another measuring instrument for the length, which is the screw gauge. Mostly the screw gauge and vernier calipers, right? These are the areas where we'll get mostly questions when it comes to competitive examinations. While we have other measuring instruments also, these two are quite important when it comes to the JEE mains or the NEET level of examination. Okay.